Numsa's strike woes are not over as of yet. The Labour Court has dismissed an application by Numsa to have a lockout by members affiliated to the National Employers Association of South Africa, NEASA, declared illegal. Now, NEASA has been opposed to the wage deal struck by Numsa and SEFSA, and it's adamant that it will continue its support to lockout until its demands are sufficiently considered. Now, here in studio is NEASA CEO Gerhard Papenfus to talk us about why the court's decision is seen as a victory for his members. Gerhard, always appreciate your time. I guess you must be a happy man.
Well, this is a very important outcome of this case. I think that, what happened here is that since the deal was done between SEFSA and Numsa, which they continuously attempt to extend to our members, we locked out the Numsa members because they didn't negotiate with us, they negotiated with somebody else. They struck a deal with an organization representing 15% of employers. Since then, some companies are locking out their members to compel them to negotiate with us. Instead of negotiating with us, Numsa has now on 2 occasions approached the court. But their attempt this time was based on the premise that when they made the decision in the council where the unions and SEFSA agreed on that deal automatically became applicable to us. Well, we rejected that from the outset, and the court has confirmed that.
How many employees are involved in the businesses that you represent?
In the lockout as such?
Yes.
We're not exactly sure. Not all the employers tell us that. I find it strange, but some employers are actually doing it without telling us that.
I think they're not obliged to tell you.
No, of course they're not. And they're not obliged to do it in any event. It's less than 100. Okay. It's less than 100, and we're not exactly sure how many, and we're not exactly sure how many Numsa members are involved or affected by this. The important point is that it's happening, and I think it's an important act on our side for the purpose of labour relations. We want orderly collective bargaining in South Africa. What we have in here is a form of tyranny. So the court case is important, and the lockout will continue. And people ask me for how long. I say, well, until Numsa talk to us. That's how long it will continue.
In terms of the businesses themselves, are they suffering? Obviously, they're shut doors. No. It must be quite difficult, surely.
No, I think they're continuing quite well.
Without all these employees?
Well, Numsa doesn't, I don't think there's a single incident where all the employees comprise of Numsa members, some members. And I think these businesses they went through a difficult strike where property was damaged, and I think their view is, we weren't listened to. We went through the strike, we weren't listened to, so the lockout continues. So no, I think that all these businesses are functioning full steam or very close to that.
Where to? Obviously, you've said now that you want Numsa to chat. Is it that 10% or that number? No. Where are we at?
No, I think it's more than just 10%. First of all, it's the principle of an agreement between minorities and an employer's side with a union be extended to 85% of employees in the industry. That's the first point. The second point is, it's not just the 10%. If there's a 10% with a proper exemption policy, regional dispensation, all the stuff that's being taken into consideration to have small business functioning properly, then of course we'll consider it. But this is a simple 10% deal which they want to extend to all businesses. And again, it's big companies in Joburg making a deal and then trying to enforce that deal on small companies in rural areas. Makes no sense. That's the principle. It's not just 10%. It's the whole principle of the way collective bargaining is conducted. And we went into this negotiation with a demand that all these issues had to be addressed. None of it was addressed, and so it's more than just the percentage.
There are smaller businesses, and I guess you just don't want them to be bullied into what the bigger businesses can afford and
That is the principle of this whole thing. And we have to do this now to set a tone once and for all. This industry has almost been destroyed. The industry lost 700,000 jobs in 30 years. The levels of employment in this industry is now where it was in 1972. And in the meantime, South Africa's population has increased with 31 million people, and we're not creating jobs. This is the principle. The industry must be structured in a way that we can create jobs again and that persons can function. The fact that big business makes deals in Johannesburg and then enforces on the rest of the country, that's the principle of the fight.
And the lockout will remain, as far as you're concerned. You're digging your heels in.
Absolutely.
Well, Gerhard, yeah, keep us in the loop. Thanks for chatting to us. It's always a pleasure having you here. Gerhard Papenfus, CEO of NEASA, that court ruling going in their favour. The lockout will continue on their behalf. Chatting to Gerhard Papenfus, no doubt still some legs left on this story. We'll try